So, transformation question here. It talks about translating shape A by the vector -3 and +2. So what we're going to remember about translation vectors is that the top number of the vector tells us whether we're going left or right. And because it's a negative, then we're going to go left 3 squares. And the bottom number here tells me that we're going to go up or down. Because it's positive, we're going to go up 2 squares. Now the translation vector must move the whole shape together, so all I've got to do for this is choose one of the vertices, one of the corners, and move that. So we're going to go left 3 squares, so I'm going to choose the bottom here. So 1, 2, 3. So that bottom's moved to there. And then we've gone up 2, so 1, 2. So our new shape means that it's going to be here. And we went 2 squares across, so 2 squares across, and then went 1 across, 3 up, so 1 across, 3 up, and 1 across and 3 up. And we should use a ruler, of course, to do this accurately. It's just a quick example. So we're translating using vectors. Again, the top number, remember, goes left or right. Negative means we go left. Bottom number tells us we go up or down. Positive up, negative down. And the whole shape moves in the direction explained. A check, choose this corner, 1, 2, 3 across, 1, 2 up, so it seems to work. This question says describe fully the single transformation. So fully the single transformation. So best advice I can give you here is that you should always write down the 4 possible transformations at GCSE level. So that's going to be either a translation, an enlargement, a reflection, or a rotation. And then literally you go through each of these looking for the one word that will get us at least 1 mark. This question is worth 3 marks, so we should be looking at gaining those by choosing the correct word for 1 mark and then describing how it actually worked. Translation means that the original shape Q would have stayed in the same orientation, which means that we would have expected R to be in that orientation. It's not. So because it's not in that orientation, then the translation doesn't work. Enlargement, well, there's only one special enlargement that keeps the shape the same size, and that's a scale factor of 1. Not really asked at GCSE level in exam question formats, so the shapes normally either get bigger or smaller when they're being enlarged, and this is definitely not an enlargement, so therefore, no. And reflection, well, it's asking us to go from Q to R, so Q to R, if it's going to reflect, then it would have flipped over here to look something like that. It didn't, so, or it would have come down here, which would have meant that it would have looked something like that. It didn't, so it's not a reflection. There could have been a diagonal reflection, but again, if it had been a diagonal reflection, then this point would have been over there, this point would have been over there, so a diagonal reflection wouldn't even have worked. So it must be a rotation. So single transformation means that we use just one of those 4 words. Never put 2 of them down. They get no marks in the exam if you put 2 or more transformation types. It's just a single one. Rotation is 3 marks. So a rotation needs an angle of turn and a direction. Well, we can see here that that shape has started there and it's taken that point and it's gone round to there. And if we use tracing paper, then we would see that we could get our tracing paper, put our pencil pen down and turn it round, and it would have moved over to where R is. So it's a rotation of 90 degrees, it's a quarter turn. Direction has to be given, it's going in an anti-clockwise direction. And we can see from the way I've demonstrated using the L approach that if I pick this shape up at that corner and I rotate it 90 degrees anti-clockwise, then we can see that its centre was 0, 0. So centre 0, 0. So that's just a quick example of working with transformations at GCSE level.